Welcome to Online WHS Tutorials. In this tutorial, you'll learn the 12 major features that you should be using to get the most out of your online WHS system. Number 1, the Qualification Manager and Training Needs Analysis. When entering an employee, you can actually add qualifications in the system by selecting the green plus sign. This creates a drop-down list of all the qualifications you have entered. You can relate qualifications to your employees, and you can actually add as many qualifications as you wish to that employee with alert date and expiry date. All qualifications entered will automatically go into the qualification matrix and create this qualification table for you. Items highlighted in yellow are items where you can go to the organizational position and relate certain qualifications to a certain position. And if that employee doesn't have that qualification, it'll highlight in this register as yellow, and you can export reports in a variety of ways. The Checklist Builder. This is a great feature where you can actually create your own online checklists. By opening and closing all these different fields, you can relate the checklist to various items throughout your system. You can even set email alerts to alert you if this checklist has been completed. Watch the WHS helper, How to Build a Checklist, to get the most out of this section. But when you do create a checklist, the system automatically creates a QR code for every single individual checklist developed, even with the name of the checklist on it. You can make that QR code public. Public means if I scan that QR code, it would actually bring up that checklist on my phone, and I don't even have to enter a username and password. The checklist now looks really nice and neat on the mobile phone, as the system is now what's called responsive. Number 3, the Plant and Equipment Register. In this register, you can enter plant and equipment items and relate maintenance dates and qualifications needed to use that machine. The difference about the plant and equipment QR code is that you can actually relate certain checklists to this machine, and any checklist you've actually related to the machine or open the field when you're building the checklist will be highlighted here. It gives the user quick and easy access to do a pre-start checklist or any kind of checklist needed to use that machine. It also gives them access to the incident form and hazard form, all from one QR code. The Incident Register with Reports. An incident can be logged by a QR code or by logging into the system. Once an incident is actually logged, it will automatically go into the system as read, and also email alert anyone that's been set for an alert. Once read inside the system, the person can do the investigation, and on completion will go orange, where they can develop the corrective measure and set actions, and it's closed out as green. All this develops into a very detailed report, so you can actually identify the true root cause of all incidents and develop kind of processes to reduce the likelihood of that incident occurring. The same is done for hazards. You can log a hazard by a QR code, or you can log it by entering it into the system itself. When a hazard is logged, it will actually go into the system as read. And once again, if you've set email alerts up for someone to receive an alert, they will receive the alert. Once logged in as read, the supervisor or manager can assess it, and it will go orange inside the system, where they can develop a corrective measure to reduce the likelihood of that hazard occurring or causing an incident. Once it's completed, it will go green, and you can set actions again, just like the incident register, to make sure that all those hazard control measures have been implemented or are to be implemented. And again, it actually develops graph reports. The Audit Builder. The Audit Builder is where you can actually build an audit, very much like the checklist. Once you've actually built your audit, you can select the Evidence button and relate all documentation throughout your system to an element item or a question that's been created in the audit itself. The auditor can then assess and set actions needed, and the system develops a graph report to actually show your compliance. The Online e-learning module. This is where you can actually create your own online e-learning modules, either by text, by uploading photos, or even embedding a video inside the system. All inductions are assigned, or training modules are assigned via the training table, and records are kept. An employee can just log into the system, select their to-do list, and any induction or training module assigned to them, they click one button to actually take them to undertake an online e-learning module. The Maintenance Manager. In your plant and equipment section, you've actually developed maintenance, which is scheduled maintenance. The maintenance manager is more for reactive maintenance. Is where you can actually develop your own maintenance requests. You can place this QR code throughout your facility or on your machine, and you can make that QR code public. Once scanned, it'll bring up a simple form that you created inside your system. And when completed, it'll automatically go into the maintenance register as read, where the maintenance manager can then sign it to wherever it may be that needs to undertake the maintenance, and it'll go orange. You can even upload the cost of the maintenance so you can see exactly where your maintenance expenses are coming from. The contractor module. This will help you meet your duty of care relating to contractor management. You can enter contractors inside the system, and the system will automatically send the contractor an email with a link to a 4-step compliance portal. They click on that link and it opens up a portal where they can enter all their employees and also their subcontractors. They can also take inductions that you've assigned to them online, upload their safe work methods, but most importantly, enter all their insurances, workers' compensation, public liability, and permits, working with children and so forth, with alert date and expiry dates. You can then actually log into the system and verify that contractor. The system automatically creates an ID for that contractor, which you can print out, give to the contractor to make sure that they actually bring that onto site when they're coming on and off your site. You can even set email alerts not only to alert yourself that their insurances and qualifications are expiring. You can even set alerts to notify the contractor that their insurances and qualifications are expiring. The meeting builder. Consultation is a big part of WHS. So in this section, you can actually create your own online meetings. Once you've actually created your meeting, you can actually select edit and enter minutes straight into the fields that you've actually created, and even set actions out of that meeting. All recorded inside your system, and you've got all your records there to show compliance. The action register. This register is linked to multiple items throughout the system. When you log a hazard and develop a control measure, you set actions to implement those control measures. When you actually log an incident and develop corrective measures, you develop actions to implement those corrective measures. In the meeting, if you have a meeting agenda item, you can set actions out of that meeting so people actually get things done. And in the checklist, if you select no, it'll actually bring up a pop-up box where you can actually set an action for something that's needed to be done. And you can actually even set an action itself. All these will go into the person's to-do list, but it's all recorded in the action register, so you can actually print out a report and see who has actually done things or who hasn't done things. The alert register. A very important register. You can set email alerts for every single process within the system. But please note, emails are an essential function of your online WHS system. So please ensure that emails from the system are not marked or identified as spam, as this action will affect rendering your alerts as ineffective. But alerts can be set up for every single process. You can even escalate those alerts if someone hasn't completed that task by a given time frame. So they are the 12 major features inside the system that will help you get the most out of your online WHS system.